Roger Jackson brutally assaults a man called Stuart Smith, going under the name of Psycho Stu. We aren't going to be showing the footage on this podcast because we've done it once already. Everyone else who's posted this footage, even when edited or blurred, unless it's very heavily edited but blurred, has been penalised by YouTube, and it's been relegated to 18 plus, which limits the amount of advertisers that will be on that video. So
okay, everybody that shows this footage have been penalized by YouTube.
Yes, yeah, it's deemed for adults only, and therefore only certain advertisers or no advertisers will show their adverts on that video. So, and then it will limit its visibility as well. So we on the Stevie Show re-uploaded it with an even more heavily edited version. On my personal channel, I didn't show the video at all, and on this channel, we're not going to show the video at all, just to for safety. Better safe than sorry. But I'm assuming that if you know the story, you've seen the footage. So we'll just make that clear. But for those who...
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's, what's that word for it? Ubiquitous?
Ubiquitous is what it is, yeah.
Hey, that's a good word, huh?
Oh, yeah.
The word of the day. Ubiquitous, everywhere.
Okay, right. So for the incident itself, Dutch, tell us what happened, and then we're going to go blow for blow about the lead up to it and what's happened after as well. So tell me what you saw.
Well, all right, I'm on my computer or the phone, something the other day, and it says something about Rampage Jackson's son in a wrestling match that went awry. So, it mentions wrestling. So, yeah, I'm going to click on it. So I go over there, and I got a lot of questions. I can't get to them right now, but I got a lot of questions about this whole incident, this whole thing. But apparently, Rampage Jackson's son, whose name is Raja.
Roger. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Raja. So he ran into a match, and I've never seen this before, ever. He literally beat this man, Stu. What's his name, Stu?
His working name is Psycho Stu, but his real name is Stuart Smith.
He beat Stuart Smith, I swear, halfway to death. And finally, that crowd realized that, hey, this is not ordinary wrestling stuff. He is beating the damn hell out of this guy, and he was. And as it turned out, that when they finally pulled him off, and I don't know what took them so long to get there, but I have my suspicions because they didn't want to mess anything up, I'm sure. And they pulled him off, and he was still wanting to fight. Something's wrong with this guy. But anyway, first time I saw it, I went, I have never seen anything like that before, ever, even on tape, and watching matches while they were going on, anything. Never seen anything like it. I've seen guys get tagged a couple of times, and that's it. But he was sitting on top of him, I mean, hitting him as hard as he could, lefts and rights. And the guy, you could tell he was out because his arms weren't even moving. He just getting hit. Now, I think he was knocked out by, if you've seen it, I'm sure everybody has. I think when he picked him up for the slam, when he put him down, his head hit the mat. It knocked him out then. So the punches, you were just hitting a defenseless man, and he was getting the dog crap beat out of him. So, and that's what I saw. Then I saw them pull him off, and he was out of control. Now we'll get more into this a little bit later, but and that's why I said something is apparently not right with this young man, and he's an adult. He's 25. Something's badly wrong with him. And he said, well, he's boxing too, so he got knocked out the other day, or he got knocked senseless or something. No, I think it's more than that. He's a little bit more behind this man. Or he has a lot of rage built up in him, and he's actually dangerous. So, and I also contacted our attorney, the prestigious Mr. Adam Brower about it, and he gave me the legal aspects on it. So we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, then. So let's just. I'm sure everyone's heard this all to death. We'll just do the sort of quick version. Basically, Stu went up to, or basically, it was a confrontation before the match, a couple of hours beforehand.
This is another question I have too.
Yes, yeah. He gave this guy, Raja Jackson, a working punch with a beer can. He assumed he was a pro wrestler. It was all not in anger. It was all, I guess, in good fun or camaraderie. And then this Raja got really up in his face saying, "What are you doing?" etc. And at that point, Stu realised that he wasn't a wrestler, apologised several times, tried to offer him a handshake and, bygones be bygones. And this guy wouldn't. This Raja Jackson, the son of Quentin Rampage Jackson, UFC Hall of Famer, wouldn't accept it. And then one of the owners of the Knox Pro Wrestling School...
I was going to ask, who is that?
The owners are Rikishi.
And who's the guy? But who's the guy who stepped up to Raja in the back? He got hit with a beer can. Who was that?
Oh, the guy who got in between, who was the other co-owner, was Black Pearl, Reno Anawai. He's the cousin of Rikishi.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, right, and then there's another character in this called AJ Manor, or his working name's AJ Manor. He's the cowboy guy, right? So he was the one who invited Raja Jackson down. Apparently, and this became apparent after an interview was released late last night as we record this, that this cowboy guy, AJ Manor, had prior bad blood with Stuart Smith. And then
that explains this, yes.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's invited this nut job down, this failed MMA wannabe, son of Rampage Jackson, who actually had a great career in mixed martial arts. And this kid has obviously got, no qualms about hurting people very, very badly, and is missing a lot of things, missing any synapses in his head firing, I guess, at this point. So anyway, here's the main thing. So I'll clue you up to the point, and I'll try and do it as quick as I can. He refused the handshake, Raja Jackson, and the apology, until he was told that he could be part of the show later on. I think Black Pearl says this, one of the co-owners. He sets up a spot, and then it's also told to him by either the cowboy guy or Black Pearl or whatever it is, that, you can get your receipt in the match with Stu.
Yeah, and he asked him, said, "You remember what a receipt is, right?"
Yeah.
He asked him that.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Raja Jackson accepts Stu's apology, and then over the next 2 hours, while on live stream on Kick, he starts talking about how it's always been a dream of him to F up a pro wrestler, how he's not going to stop hitting him until he's pulled off of him. He's admitting all this on his own live stream constantly. He's getting more and more wound up as these 2 hours, intervening 2 hours happen. His father calls him, makes fun of him, so he's more upset. You've got people on his live stream, a bunch of teenagers and preteens, because Kick is a streaming service geared toward the younger market, who are winding him up and saying loads of things to G him up even more. This Raja Jackson guy even says, if I get 50 more likes or subscribes, I'll mess him up really good. He's constantly burying himself and winding himself up over these 2 hours. Then
he convicted himself there.
Oh yeah, AJ Manor is also caught on the live stream saying that to make sure to run in on Stu, tag him as in hit him. He says this several times, and then he says, if he bows up to you, if he reacts to you, then I, AJ Manor, I will back you, Raja Jackson, up. So there's clearly bad blood brewing here, or that he's willing to back up this dude who against a pro wrestler kind of thing and wants to turn it into a shoot.
Now this is one of my questions. He wasn't supposed to be there, right? I mean, he was just in the dressing room, right?
He was invited by AJ Manor.
So he was invited, right? So the whole problem started in the dressing room with a beer can.
Well, it wasn't even a dressing room. It was outside in the car park or whatever it was, where apparently the wrestlers also change. So it started there. Yeah. So they decided that they're going to let him kind of get back at him by having him run in without any training, without anything, and attacked Mr. Stu, and he did. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, I highly, highly encourage anybody who didn't see it, because we can't show the footage here because of the YouTube restrictions on it. But you need to see this, because I've never seen anything like it. And when I saw it, it's hard to believe then, even after it happened.
Okay, so go ahead. I'm understanding it more now talking to you than what I tried to figure out. So I go ahead.
Well, there's another thing that some apologists, including Chael Sonnen, another UFC
Yep.
person, also said, trying to make excuses for him, just saying, oh, well, maybe Raja was confused about the nature of pro wrestling and he was just told to go in there and get your revenge and get a receipt kind of thing. It's like there's no confusing, like, because even on the live stream, Raja keeps saying, I'm not going to fake punch him, I'm going to real punch, I'm going to really attack him. He knows the difference between a work and a shoot, because everybody in 2025 knows the difference between pro wrestling and mixed martial arts or or real fighting.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Everybody knows that. He even admits it on the stream or clues his viewers in on the stream. He knows the difference. They can't use that as a defense as much as Chael Sonnen would like them to. Anyway, you said it before. He slams him. MMA slams him. Doesn't slam him flat on his back. He slams him to the point where, his back is curved and, he gets the whiplash effect, hits his head on the canvas, knocks him out, then rains down 21 punches unanswered to the unconscious Stu's face and head. So 21.
And you're watching it. The guy's knocked out and his arms are straight out like this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on top of a wham, wham, wham. Man, it's brutal to watch. And I've never seen anything like that.
So Stu ends up unconscious for a prolonged period of time. Now, wrestlers eventually... We'll get to the injuries in a second. You saw the video. Did you see the referee flapping his arms around and staring at him and not doing anything about it? I mean, by punch 3, you must have realised that these were real punches.
Hey, I'm not blaming anybody of that crew, because this was all new to them, completely new. They didn't know what to do. And even if they recognize he's knocking him out, to grab him, I think they were like, they didn't know what to do. And finally, there's some guys ran in there and pulled him off, and he was wanting to fight them. One guy did punch him back or headbutt him or something to slow him down. And he did an interview I saw. They had 4 guys lined up on the couch, or 3 guys. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And he's talking about it. And boy, he is blasting that Raja Jackson. So this is the question I had. Mr. Raja. So he was invited down by the cowboy, right?
Yep.
And that's why he was there. That's what I was thinking. Why was he even there anyway? So now that makes sense. The cowboy invited him down. But they have done so many. I mean, they have so much tape of this, so much. I think it looked like to me they were trying to put together something of a special about this guy trying to get into wrestling. That's what I thought, because they have it all.
No. It's just this Raja Jackson, this is his own live stream. He just wanted to live stream the entire thing from beginning to end.
But they taped that too. They taped that on another camera, and you can hear his conversation and all this. So it's all recorded, and I don't know, it was a mess, and it is I think they need to count themselves lucky that this guy didn't die.
Well, here are some of the injuries. Stu ends up unconscious for a prolonged period of time. Injuries include possible brain injury, concussion, of course, broken bones in his face, multiple teeth knocked out. He was choking on his own blood and teeth. That is a quote from, I believe, Douglas Mallow. He's the guy who I think was interviewed that you saw, and he was the guy who Raja Jackson actually tried to double leg him, and then loads of wrestlers pushed him to the corner and to stop him and get him out. He was taken to critical care. We believe, according to his brother, that he's still in the hospital. Initially, it was said that he'd gone home either Saturday night, Sunday morning. He hadn't. We believe he's still in the hospital. Life-changing injuries he's suffered. Apparently, he's struggling to communicate. He's struggling to talk. He's struggling to walk. I mean, this will possibly affect him for the rest of his life, very, very negatively so. This Douglas Mallow, I believe, also said that he invited, and he was particularly upset because there were a lot of kids in the audience as well, that he had personally invited to the show, that this all happened in front of. And also in the crowd was Psycho Stu's mother, who witnessed this.
Well, it gets worse and worse the more I hear about it.
Oh, it gets even worse. So after... Amazing. It just things keep coming out that you won't believe. Another video emerged from somebody else sat somewhere else in the show. I don't think affiliated with anybody here. Just a fan, I guess. They had a view from the other side of the ring. After Raja Jackson is removed and Stuart Smith's unconscious body is laying on the canvas,
Yes.
another wrestler comes into the ring and then makes the cover. He covers his unconscious body, and the referee counts a pinfall on him.
What the hell was that for? That's not even a good joke.
The referee stood there. The coward that I don't care who. Look, right. If you're seeing someone basically getting killed in front of you, you need to intervene. You are there for the wrestler's safety. You are a referee, and this guy didn't intervene at all, flapped his arms, cried off, let other wrestlers who were nowhere near pull Raja Jackson off. And then the referee, who's seen this guy take 21 unanswered shots to his head and face, then decides it's appropriate to make the count. Because some other stupid wrestler then covers him. Keep in mind at this point is that, once again, a quote, he is choking on his own blood and teeth. Nobody thought, including the referee, to put him in the recovery position so he wouldn't choke to death.
Yeah.
Instead, they do a pinfall. I mean, what is up with pro wrestlers, man? What's going on?
Well, what you have there is a bunch of guys that are basically their fans once removed. They were just taken out of the seats. It looks like to me.
They're cosplayers. They are cosplayers with no common sense.
Again, I'm going to reiterate that. I like that word. It's a damn wonder the guy didn't die. And he may die yet, because if these injuries are extensive, which you said they are, he's going to have problems the rest of his life. So anyway.
Don't worry, it gets worse. It all gets worse constantly. Here's Knox Pro tweet at the school, Rikishi and Black Pearl School.
What's the name of the school? Knox
It's called
Pro?
Yeah, it's Knox. So it's Knoxk or no, sorry, Knokx. It's just spelled silly. So it's training facility associated with WWE, or was. We'll get to that.
Or was. We'll get to that in a minute, too.
Yeah. What was supposed to be a planned and agreed upon wrestling spot turned into a selfish, irresponsible act of violence against Mr. Smith. Now, this egregious act is reprehensible and never should have occurred. And it's like, but hang on, you as a school, including the co-owner, gave the green light for this spot to go ahead with what would turn out to be an unhinged maniac with no training, no real idea what pro wrestling is. And
he'd never been in a ring before, right?
No.
A wrestling ring. He's been in a boxing ring, but Go ahead.
So, in 70 years of operation, blah, 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 this has never happened. Anyway, any reference to Rikishi's school being affiliated with the WWE ID program has now been removed from their website. Now, the WWE...
Well, that was quick.
Oh, yeah, within 2 days.
I think it was the next morning, I think.
As of yesterday afternoon, my time, which would have been morning your time, there was still the WWE ID logo on the website, but it was removed like 2 hours later.
I thought, okay, I read it wrong then. Yeah. I read it that it was removed the next day.
It might have been the next day. No, I think it was call it 2 days for whatever it matters.
Okay, this was a part of the WWE ID.
Yeah. Do you want me to explain?
What does the ID mean? What does that mean?
So the WWE ID system is kind of like, they've got like, it's sort of like an inroad to get to WWE developmental. So these are independent training schools. Nearly all of them are associated with current or former WWE wrestlers in good standing. So Seth Rollins is one, Cody Rhodes is one, I think Devon Dudley's is one, Rikishi's was one, and there were a couple of others out there, 5 or 6 in total. And WWE ID system is basically certain wrestlers WWE will sponsor. I think they give them a bit of extra money to keep them on the indies, get them seasoned up, and then when the time comes, they'll keep track of their progress, and then when the time comes, if they like them, they've got first dibs on signing them, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the system is, and being at one of these affiliate schools is a fast track to get to NXT, basically.
Wow. How much money is involved in this? Can't be that much.
I don't think there's tons, but it's prestigious, isn't it? I mean, if you're WWE ID affiliated, then more
What
people
does
are
the
going to want
ID
to.
stand for?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Must be international dumbasses, I think.
With that being said, anyway, we don't know if WWE made them take down the references or they were being proactive. I figured WWE has told them, you are no longer affiliated with us. You've made us all look terrible. I mean,
wow,
pretty obvious, right?
We'll get to this in a minute. What could happen to this group? Let's save that. That's a topic all its own.
Okay, Rampage Jackson tweeted. That's the father of Raja Jackson once again. Stuart, I'll give you the short version. He basically says that Raja, his son, should not have been anywhere doing anything physical because he sustained a concussion several days earlier. And then, his thoughts with Stuart Smith. And basically just said, he apologizes on his son's behalf. He shouldn't. He doesn't condone his son's actions at all, etc.
Question.
Yes.
Okay, the kid Raja. Is he doing boxing or is he doing the MMA stuff?
He was doing the MMA stuff, best we can tell. He had one fight which he lost.
Yeah.
So apart from the fact that he's got a horrible temper and obsessed with respect and all that crap, he's not even anywhere near as good as his father was. So he's definitely living in his father's shadow. Here's something else. Rampage, a couple of weeks ago, joked that he'd set aside university tuition fees for two of his sons and then bail money for his third son, which obviously is Raja.
Okay, how many sons? I heard he had 4 sons.
He's got at least 3. I think it's 3.
But 2 of them are Japanese.
Yeah, they're half Japanese.
Okay, and then he has 2 other sons. And I heard the same thing, that for the Japanese kids, he put together college fund money for them. But for the 2, Raja and his brother, he put bail money up.
Yeah, basically. Assuming he has a brother.
That's what I read, but I don't know. That's not having a lot of faith in your kids, I guess.
Well, not that one. Can you blame him?
No, I cannot.
I mean, Rampage is hardly coming off as Father of the Year throughout this as well, because on the live stream, he phoned up Raja to make fun of him and then hung up as well. So just, anyway, it's a perfect storm. Here's the follow-up. The ID, WWE ID, is gone. But there's even worse. One of the wrestlers at Knox Pro gave an interview that you watched, claimed that Rikishi's promotion are already telling their trainees and staff to not cooperate with the investigation, the police investigation. Here's the quote. The most disgusting thing, that people at this school are being encouraged to not cooperate with the police. From what I hear, the police were there investigating the scene shortly after Stu was removed, and there have been multiple requests that have gone downstream from upper management to not talk with the police directly if they are contacted, and to only let a certain group of individuals interact with the police. This is extremely dishonest. You guys let your friend almost die, and now you're trying to have people lie for you. And then this was the initial message shared by Knox Pro's Kevin Thomas, KT King, on the Psycho Stu Raja Jackson incident. Please refrain from engaging in comment sections on social media posts about this tragedy. It will be weaponized in potential criminal and civil cases. Fly low. If law enforcement or an attorney for the suspects contact you in any capacity, let someone here know right away for the guidance on how to address them. So straight away, instead of
that was put out by verbally, or was that written down?
I think that was written down and sent to the students and the staff at the training facility.
That's, if you're going to keep something quiet, don't write it down. But, and that's illegal anyway. I mean, this guy, Rikishi and his group, they're in big time trouble. Not only with, they've already lost the WWE affiliation. Now, in legal terms, they're so deep they can't even see the bottom or the top.
Yeah, it's smelling of cover up. It sounds like. And here's the thing: they say it would be weaponized in a potential criminal case, which is, I thought, what you wanted. Do you not want to charge this guy who nearly killed one of your wrestlers? But then also mentions civil cases, which to me tells me that all they really care about is keeping the doors open and the money coming in for their school.
Mm-hmm. I think the school is about finished.
The school should be finished because you have one of the co-owners allowing an untrained guy to do a spot. And they barely explained anything to him. I think at one point they may have agreed that that Raja was going to slam Stu. That's it. That's all the planning apparently that went on. As far as I can tell, Raja and Stu never interacted again after the initial confrontation. So it's nuts. And they should be shut down.
So let me just give you, when I read about it, about wrestling, because I'm going to read it. And then the more I read, the more I became interested in it. Then the video started coming out, and I watched most of the video that I could find. All a prosecutor has to do is just look at the video. That's all he has to do, and maybe take a few interviews. He is guilty as sin right now, and the whole company is guilty. I don't know how they could say, well, we didn't have nothing to do with it. Yeah, they did. So just look at the video. I mean, everybody else could refuse to speak on it, but yet they're on their own videotape saying all this stuff. And if they're called as a witness, I would highly advise them to show up, and I highly advise them to tell the truth, because they might be a little bit of, they may be looking in jail across from Roger themselves. So, but I think the main part, that I don't know why the guy didn't die. He got hit by a trained fighter. And how long has he been training to fight? Since he was a kid?
I don't know, enough.
Yeah, because those, I think me, even at my age, I could get on top of a guy if he wasn't resisting me, and I could knock him out. Oh man, I just get a bad feeling even when I'm talking about this. What else we got?
Well, no, there's still more I want to bring up on this. Genuinely, there's just so much to
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. What else you got?
Yes. Stevie Richards brought up a good point yesterday. Do you think just the wrestling business, I mean, the pro wrestling bubble he kept mentioning, and just these skewed thought patterns that just aren't right, in the normal world, including, two people have a fallout, well, settle it in the ring, and then one of them thinks it's all water under the bridge, and the other guy's obviously conspiring over the course of 2 hours to hurt him really, really badly, which he did. Do you think, and keep in mind, no one knows who this guy is. He's the son of somebody famous. This guy's a nobody. He will only ever be remembered for this unless he does something even worse in the future. That's it. The guy's a no mark. So why would the school risk having this guy on a show for no extra publicity, for not selling a single extra ticket? He means nothing. But do you think
he wasn't even advertised?
No. I mean, why would you?
Nobody knows who he is anyway.
Yeah.
Like you said. Even when he got in the ring and I went, wait a minute, he just looked like a regular fan getting in the ring. And the people sit back like, who in the hell is this? See, they didn't know who he was. I had expected that maybe they had done something the week before with this guy, and he got the crap beat out of him. Now he's coming back, but they hadn't even done that, which explains the crowd not even popping at all when he gets into the ring. They were just flabbergasted, like, what is this guy doing in there? And who is he? They didn't have an answer. It's not self-explanatory. He's just an unknown person getting in a ring, and not that big. What's he weigh? 160 maybe?
I think he weighs in at like 170 something.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, he's nowhere near as big as his father, because his father was, light heavyweight.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, they were lost about it.
Do you think that wrestling business has been spoiled by celebrities recently? Because there's been a lot of really good ones. There's always this assumption that whoever celebrity or whatever outside entity gets associated with wrestling, well, they don't need any preparation. They already know everything. But that's a really dangerous assumption to make.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say this was... I've never seen anything like it, because the guy shows up and all of a sudden they're going to put him in the ring. It makes I've been on a lot of independent shows. I don't think they would have even done this. I have no idea what happened. Let me ask you, who did he was? People haven't seen this, or maybe they have, but we can't show it. He was talking to somebody after it happened in the dressing room, and the guy's name was Austin or something, or
You tell me. I don't know. I know. I think he went with somebody else who was filming him for a lot of it. So, but I don't know who the filmer. I don't know who the auteur was.
Can you hear that?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. Police did turn up shortly, but obviously Roger Jackson absconded from the scene. I don't know if he's been arrested yet. I hope so, but who knows? But they're looking into it, essentially, and investigating. The only thing that I can compare this to is New Jack. And for whatever reason, I guess more people just apologise for New Jack because he was a good interview and he was funny, but he was a total psychopath as well.
Oh, yes, he was.
I mean, there's the mass transit incident that most people, more people remember, but there was also another incident where somebody in a wrestling match punched him in the eye or punched him in the nose, and just wasn't very well trained. And then New Jack, as a response, just got out a knife and started stabbing him. And basically, he even admitted afterwards, I was trying to kill him. It's like, it's on par with that. This is attempted murder.
Crazy. And also with New Jack, remember the cage match? I mean, the ladder match?
No, the scaffold match.
Scaffold match. Yeah. And he pushed the guy off. He flew about 20 feet down, and he almost missed what he was aiming for, and the guy got all messed up. New Jack's another case, and he has actually gone through the Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette used to book him, and I wasn't around doing that, but I was be very anxious to see how him and Jim Cornette interacted. Maybe he threatened to kill Jim.
Yeah, maybe. Well, there were issues when he sort of left Smokey to go to ECW as well. I can't remember the ins and outs of it. It doesn't matter, but there you go. So that's the story so far, and we'll probably talk about it next week when 100 different details sort of emerge, and hopefully he's been arrested and all that kind of thing.
Wow, it was okay. Here's my question, and part of them has been answered. And I'm thinking the way this was shot, and they have so much video on it. Why? Why do they have so much video? Because
ego. I'm so important, and I want you to film everything I do for a bunch of preteens on Kick.
Well, I don't think he'd have sense enough to. But everything was videotaped, to me, it looked like they were trying to have enough video to put together something, so they can come out with a special or put together a half movie or something.
No, this isn't a fairly new thing, Dutch. This is like a lot of wannabe influencers will just film all the crap they get up to, including a lot of criminals. A lot of criminals will just film their crimes and then post them. It happens constantly. But no, there are a lot of people who just think that their lives are so unbelievably fascinating that, you just have to live stream every single day and hours on end. And some people will watch.
Okay, this is what I've read. I don't know if it's true, but Raja and his father, Rampage, have an on-again, off-again relationship. And the kid is dying for validation. But his father doesn't give it to him. And I'm sure he loves his father, but his father is not it tells a lot about Rampage Jackson because he doesn't. He says he probably loves his son, but he doesn't show it. And the kid is always looking for it. And they showed one tape where the father is just really ripping his son a new one, and he just sits there and he takes it. But I think he's in serious need of some psychological help. And the tapes did show us that, that group that were making fun of him on Kick, I think he wanted to show them, and he worked himself into a rage. You could almost see him because he was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So when the time came for him to get in the ring, boy, he unloaded on the guy, and he beat the living crap. And I think there's more people going to be called in on this too. I think that cowboy is going to be a main witness, and he may be even named in the suit.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give you a question now. What do you think will happen to the company?
Shut down.
You think it will dissolve itself, or?
Yeah, I think it should be. I think, I don't know if they'd sue Rikishi, but they'll sue the school, which Rikishi's a part owner of. They could sue Black Pearl for suggesting it. They'll probably sue the cowboy guy for bringing him round and then encouraging him to hit him for real. They might even sue the referee for not intervening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll probably just blanket sue everybody, and then it'll be whittled down. But I can see the company. Hey, they might even try and sue WWE purely because it was a WWE ID affiliated school. You never know.
I think that's who they're going to go after. That's where the money is. You go up this school. The school don't have no money. Those guys don't have any money. But the only money person in sight that's associated with them is WWE. So if they're named, I don't know what will happen, but they could offer just a cash settlement, just be done with it and walk away from it. It's what I think WWE would do, because there's no defense here at all. You can't even take the greatest lawyer ever in the history of the world. I don't know what his defense would be in this, or even is there even a defense possible? It was just a guy went off the deep end.
There's one more thing I need to mention. There's a GoFundMe out for Psycho Stew's recovery journey. Keep in mind he's a former U.S. Army soldier. He ended up in wrestling to help with his PTSD after he left the services, after he left the force. And then 15 years later, I suggest he's going to have PTSD even worse now after this.
And he got tagged so hard, he may not even remember the past.
Well, that's apparently something else he said he remembers bits of the attack and he remembers bits of the day, but once again, he's struggling to communicate, struggling to walk. He's whatever came out the first couple of days, apparently he's doing worse than initially thought. And
it will get worse. That's what brain injuries do at first, but I've heard that they get worse over time. So I don't know.